Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and welcome to another month of FEH Freebies. This time we are kicking off August with Heroes with Push Skills. All fantastic heroes. I can definitely find a use for all of these ladies, mostly just because they all have attack speed push. I know it's an oversaturated skill, but it's still very solid, very flexible, can work on just about anyone, so wouldn't mind having any of them. I kind of want Sarah for return plus on Sakura so that she can just kind of move people around. But double red is also kind of nice because I wouldn't mind Flavia or Malice. Though I already have a Malice. I had a Malice, sacrificed her, and then got another one right afterwards. So kind of leaning towards red. But if we... Okay, we didn't get any colorless anyway, so... Nothing to worry about. I might have taken colorless if it had popped up, just because I could definitely use Sarah for Sakura. But instead we just got a Sun Boy. Not the most exciting start, but we got Morgul Borgul, so good to have, I guess. Not really, but whatever. For Jafar and Nino's banner, I really have no interest in these units. I mean, the best one here is Nino for sure, but like, I don't use my Nino. I think I've got her like able to be +1 or +2. I guess I'll pull green because the colorless were bad. I was almost gonna say I might just pull a blue if it pops up, but alas, the game said you will take your green orb. Here only, anywhere else no greens. Just a Raven. He's from the right game at least, I guess. Not a super enticing banner, though. Alright, we've got 3 banners today. We've got the Tempest Trial banner, Weekly Revival 34, and Weekly Revival 13. Don't desperately need anything from these, but still, there's some nice stuff here. We can get a Layla, Nyla, or Tibarn. And this one... I guess probably Celica, because I do like using her for Valentia limited battles. So having a merge wouldn't be bad, or I could fodder for Deathblow. But let's go ahead. This one, the choice is very easy. They're all colorless. Come on. I don't necessarily want a Layla, just something cool. Natasha I would not qualify as cool. Pretty uncool for having Angel in the title, honestly. But that's fine. We've got this one as well. I guess I'd rather have... Well, I was going to say I'd rather have Nyla than Tibarn, but once again, the choice is easy when framed like this. Oh, Fury? That's about as cool as a Tibarn to me, honestly. And then finally on this one, yeah, I think I'd want Celica, then Ephraim, then Veronica. Oh, I guess Veronica has more universal fodder than Ephraim, but we got a Celica, so we'll try that. I still should probably give my Reinhardt Deathblow, so maybe I should do that if we get Celica, but... Nope, Selena for Repo. Yeah, that's also pretty useful, actually. Not quite as good as a Celica, but yeah, you know, there are a lot of worse things than red, so we'll take it. Also, by the way, I just gotta say, I find it utterly hilarious the fact that we're getting any variant of Distant Counter as a seal. And Guard is still not available as a seal. Basic Guard is still not available as a seal. That's just hilarious to me. Even if this is like a special Distant Counter that only affects dragons, it's still available before Guard, and I find that hilarious. Next up, we have the Risk and Reward banner featuring a bunch of Thief characters. Pretty interesting lineup. Always nice to see some of the side characters take on more of a highlighted role on these banners, not being flooded with lords and other super high important characters. Although I guess Soth is still fairly high profile, but he's the D mode, so still kind of interesting. Pretty nifty lineup of skills, a lot of new like Kanto type skills, like Kanto recall on Nina's weapon, which seems fantastic for hit and run strats. I mean, Kanto is already good for hit and run, but Kanto recall seems especially good for it. This Kanto 3x3 as well, and this one was Kanto Ally 2, which lets you move back to allies. Some really interesting abilities there. I think I want Nina. She has attack speed, catch 4, and lethality, which are both pretty useful. Would actually be great for Claude if I hadn't just pulled Volk for lethality for him. And she also has Chill Def Res 3, which if I recall correctly is our first upgraded tier, which if I recall correctly is our first upgraded B slot. And it's pretty solid. It extends the chill debuff to hit surrounding enemies. Pretty solid. I could see putting that on like my Korin for arena support. Or if Claude didn't already have Falling Star in B slot, that wouldn't be a bad option on him either, to trigger his weapon more to help trigger his weapon consistently. But I think I'm gonna go for Nina just because I like her, and getting her seemed pretty good. Even if I want to fodder her, she has nice skills, but the other units also seem pretty solid. Kath has attack speed push, and attack res snag and blue feud are not nearly attack speed. Kath has attack speed push, which is always helpful even if it is pretty oversaturated. She has attack res snag and blue feud as well, which aren't as exciting. So for fodder, I would not rate her as high as some of these other units, but still seems like a solid enough unit. Layla has Swift Sparrow 3 and Def Res Smoke 3, which gives Pathfinder. I'm not sure who to put this on. It seems very powerful, but I'm just not sure who I would want it on. I was thinking maybe Garen, but I feel like to use that Pathfinder effect, you have to actually initiate and then have your other units follow up on that, which Garen wouldn't be great at. You could put it on a dagger unit, but then you have the issue where they can't, it conflicts with, where it's redundant with their Dagger 7 ability. So just not quite sure who I would want to put this on, honestly. I'm sure there are very strong units for it. I'm just blanking off the top of my head. And again, Garen, who I was thinking of initially, would probably just rather have attack smoke for anyway, so. But she also comes with Sparrow 3, which is a nice toss-in as well. And then we have Soth, who has Swift Sparrow 2 and Attack Def Rain and Harsh Command, and then his knife gives a inheritable Kanto effect, which is pretty nice. Seems pretty solid. But yeah, I think we're just gonna try and pop a colorless to get Nina. I think I like Kath more as a character, but I'd rather have Layla's fodder. So we'll go red instead. But a pretty cool theme for this banner. Wouldn't mind seeing it return again next year. Instead we got Resplendent Corn Boy, who again would have been pretty cool to put Nina's chill skill on. But alas, he has shown up instead, and now we will not have the chance. I'd probably rather hope for a power. I'd probably rather wait for an upgraded ruse skill anyway. So that's fine. Alrighty, we got the new power banner. I already have Leg Yarn and Hilda. So even though I think Leg Yarn would be the best to go for since she's a seasonal unit, not going to go for her since I already have a copy. And I know the big boy here has a pretty solid refine. Despite having DC, he managed to escape that curse. I haven't ever had Keaton, so I kind of want him. I know you could get him on like weekly revivals or whatever, so he's not as appealing, but I kind of just want Keaton. Well, the choice has been made for me. Remember, everyone, free will is a lie. Intelligent systems decides everything in our lives. Our path is chosen for us. It is useless to struggle. Ileana is inevitable. For this legendary and mythic hero remix banner, not anything I'm too desperate for, frankly. Naga got a bit of a boost, and she got Dive Bomb, which I'm not particularly excited about. So, fodder-wise, she's better, but still not something I particularly want. Like, if she had like, I don't know, Dragon Wall, I'd be more excited. But, Alm has Time Pulse, No Follow-Up, both good. But you can't get both. And then Darting Blow 4 is pretty unimpressive, frankly. But he's still legendary Alm, who is still very solid. And he got the new Lunar Flash and the Luna Arc. So still would be excited to pull him, but fodder-wise, not the most desperate. And then we got Hrid, Attack, Death Menace, and DC are both pretty good. Erica has Attack Speed Solo 4, which is not very exciting. Iden is of course fantastic, but I already have one. Thraseer also, I already have like an extra one. Gunthra, Attack Res Solo 4 is not very great. And then Joshua with Life and Death 4, No Follow-Up, and Green Feud. He would be much more exciting if he had lethality, but he does not, so I'm not particularly excited for him. So I guess for just a new character, Red would probably be best because I don't have anyone there. But I think Alm is the most interesting one on the batch to me. Even if Joshua also isn't super exciting, he's still got no follow-up, and I could grab Life and Death 4 as a throw-in, so it's not terrible. So I think we're going to go for colorless. Red is backup, but we got one colorless, so that's fine. Yeah, just not the most exciting for me personally legendary mythic hero remix banner. And we got a Gordon out of it, which is similarly unexciting. But since I wasn't that desperate for any of these units, I'm not terribly torn up about it either. For weekly revivals 55 and 14, we have the debut of Duo Ephraim on a banner that's actually not a limited time. So we can actually start getting him reasonably now. Not that I particularly need him, I have a copy that I never use. But it is cool to see him not just banished to the Shadow Realm every time his banner ends. So I think we're going to go for him because even though I don't desperately need him, he does still have Lull Attack Def and Heavy Blade 4, which is pretty good. Garrick has Sudden Panic and Death Blow 4. And then Ewan doesn't really have anything, unfortunately. Poor guy. I really liked him in Sacred Stones, but he's just not very good here, unfortunately. And then on this one, we have the Hoshido siblings. We're just going to go for a Takumi on this one, so we'll start with this. Try and grab a, well, no close counter fodder. I guess I'd rather have a Hinoka slightly more than a Ryoma. Don't really need either of them, but there's more 4-star specials in blue that I would want, and instead we just got a parry. Not helpful. And we'll bounce back over to this one, and we will try and pull a blue. Green is back up, but we got one blue. Perfect. Just the one is all we need. And just a Benny. Cool, but not especially exciting, unfortunately. Now we have this year's Brave units with female Bilif, adult Tiki, Seliph, and Crom. They all seem very solid to the point where it is very difficult to pick which one I think I should take for the free summon. They all seem pretty good. They all seem like they have a niche. and it doesn't really have one where there's a particular one where I'm like, this one seems like way better or way worse than the others. They all seem pretty good, which unfortunately makes it very difficult to pick. And they all have okay fodder, like Surge Sparrow, SD, Near Trace, both good, and then Infantry Speed Tactic can definitely be useful as well. Although I also run a lot of units that already have null follow-up, so not quite as useful for me, but Crom has a Fate Changed, which is reposition, and he steals bonuses, including things like Fallen Star apparently, which is disgusting. He also has Armor Effectiveness. Very solid unit. Though I do have Brave Erica from last year, so he is a little redundant, but with a Fate Changed, he would have a niche in like AR offense to reposition a unit and then still have his action ready to go, which could be really helpful for things like Gale Force Chains, because sometimes they have a difficult time getting into position and taking everyone out with that running out of actions. So I could definitely see a use for him there. I'm actually kind of leaning towards him for my free pick, but I'm still not sure. Seliph has Attack Speed Clash, which hurts my head, and Lull Speed Def, both pretty good, but I don't really have anyone who desperately needs that, and he also seems pretty useful with Miracle and Kanto shenanigans. Tiki has this new Attack Res finish, which can give you some sustain, but I think it's only for infantry. And then Def Res Menace, pretty much the dragon skill most of the time, but could be useful. She's a bit of a more bulky unit. And then finally we have Bilif with Attack Speed Catch, fan favorite. Not quite as saturated as Attack Speed Push, but it's getting there. And then Speed Preempt 3 is weird. It's like Vantage for ranged attacks, but with a speed check instead of an HP check, and it does give you a little bit of a speed debuff on the foe to help you make that check, but it's very weird. I'm not sure who I would want it on, to be honest, but it is a skill. And then Speed Res Hold. I really hate the icon for Speed Res Hold. It just looks so ugly, but I would like that for Morgan. So I'm also kind of considering just taking a Bilif and foddering her to Morgan for that stuff. She could take Speed Preempt as like a throw-in with Res Hold, and she might use it on some random map or anything or something, but I think generally speaking, most units that could use Preempt would probably rather have like a Trace skill or Null Follow-Up or even a Lull skill. So it's just one of those skills where I'm not quite sure who would want it. Maybe like archers if you want to do like a Vantage anti-flyer setup, but not have to worry about getting your HP reduced. So it could be good on like New Year's Corrin as well, or like Ignatz. I'm not sure I'd put it on him, but maybe some other fast bow armor in the future could use it. Be funny. But and I also wouldn't mind having her just to have her because, you know, I do prefer male Bilif, but she is still Bilif, which means I'm a fan. And she's wearing the Sothis Regalia, which is pretty nifty, but I still think it would have been very funny if in an alternate timeline this had been male Bilif and they had forced male Bilif into this outfit. It would be very funny. But now for male Bilif, I'd really like to see him in Geralt's outfit with as a sword cav with Sword of the Creator on a horse. That'd be very cool, I think. But who knows what they would do if he won. But for now, we need to pick. Again, I'm not sure who to pick for the free summon, so I think I'm going to do polls first and then decide. Kind of think I want to try and pull a Crom. Crom, Bilif, and then I think Seliph, and then Tiki is my last pick. But we'll see. First, we got a Robin. I don't need it that bad that I'm going to spend Orbs, even though it is very tempting. Choose Your Legends is very good, but these brave heroes will come back around. I need to save. Though my savings have gotten much higher than I expected very quickly, so hopefully we'll be ready for other Bilif to return in next month. Also, so many people were upset, and I didn't even think about it at first. Like, I was so tired, it didn't register to me, but a lot of people were really upset that adult Tiki was in young Tiki's outfit, which again, it didn't register to me that much because I'm not a huge Tiki fan, but it makes sense because people specifically voted for adult Tiki, so she would get something because she hasn't gotten anything aside from her refinement that she had to share with young Tiki since her summer alt year 1. So like for a special thing for herself, that's pretty much the only thing that she had. And then they still force young Tiki into this anyway. So I get why they were very upset, and thinking about it like that, I'm a little disappointed too. But you know, nothing I can do about it. So I saw people say that they should have done like a Naga outfit, which definitely would have been more cool, I think. And Abel, not helpful. I think even if you had done like Bantu's cloak or had her dress up like Marth, those would have been cool too. I also saw someone say like Sayri or Lucina were options too, specifically for like the awakening angle. There's just a lot of options they could have gone with. And Est. Not Crom. Crom, we summoned the Robin. You gotta show up and come help us. Nope, Sedith. He's here for the professor. He heard Bilif was here. And last one. At least we got all blues this time, so we actually got a chance at Crom. Instead, we just got a Furdy Birdie. Also here for the professor. Yeah, not great pulls there, but I guess for our free pick, I think I'm going to take Crom. It is tempting to take Bilif and just fodder her to Morgan, but she'll come back around. They might randomly add some other unit that has speed res hold. So, you know, right now I think I kind of just want the new unit to play around with. Give me another AR offense option. Could also be good in summoner duels, but we're just going to take Crom. There he is. He looks very good. I did focus on the armor in his reveal, but people were talking about how his face looked a little off, and I can kind of see it. It does look a little not like the Crom we're used to. But the armor looks very good. And I don't think the face is like terrible or anything. It's just a little different. So we've got that silly little A Fate Changed skill. If I wanted to fodder him, we also got Surge Sparrow, and SD Near Trace, though I'm probably just going to keep him. Also got Infantry Speed Tactic, which could be funny, but I'm not sure who I'd put it on. It could be funny on Corrin, but the fact that I often run Corrin in Arena with like a full infantry team kind of makes that unappealing. Could also be funny on Bilif, since he already has null follow-up. He would just give it to everyone else and basically become kind of a mini version of his legendary version. But I think he's just got better things to do with that, honestly. But it is really cool on Crom because he can just give it to an ally and then use his assist skill to yoink the null follow-up effect. So that's kind of funny, but we will just take this Crom and use him for now. For heroes with dodge skills, we have a pretty solid lineup, mostly just because dodge skills are really good, so any hero with one is pretty helpful by default. I already have Chris. She has Fury 4 and Spurn 3, which are pretty good. Not the best combo, just because I don't think Fury has the best synergy with Spurn, but still pretty solid. And then on red we have Sayri with Kestrel Stance and Close Call. Wouldn't mind this, just because Kestrel Stance is good for some fast armors, though I guess you are wasting Close Call if you decide to use Kestrel Stance on a armor. But I was thinking I could use this with Savvy Fighter, which could be helpful if I decide to build another fast armor like Winter Hilda in the future. And then we have the big Man Ike himself. I can't believe he's like, what, 2 years old at this point? Kind of wild. It feels like he just released, but he's got Darting Breath and Repel, both pretty solid, and he's just a fantastic unit himself. So probably going to go for him. I think I want to try looking for red, but blue still wouldn't be a bad pickup by any means. We got the 1 red, so let's go ahead and grab that and hope that we get something cool. No. Ogma, you're not cool, man. Actually, he was actually kind of cool in my original Shadow Dragon playthrough. But, you know, over here, that doesn't quite translate. Maybe if it was his summer version, I'd be a little more excited, but just regular Ogma as a 3-star as well, very uncool. For the rerun of Perilous Seas, we are going for Big Sis's Hinoka and Camilla. For backup, Def Res Ideal isn't terrible, but I think I'd rather have Near Trace and Stall Ploy, so I think we'll go Naysala as backup, then Surtur, and the 4-star does not interest me at all, and she's actually on one of the Divine Codes paths, and really turns me off from wanting to pull it because it's just a very underwhelming use of Divine Codes for me, because I don't have any interest in her, and her fodder is not great, so but we're going to pull green. Perfect. 1 green. Come on, give us my sisters. Give me my sisters. Bah! Balthus, you're not my sister. You could be like a big brother, maybe a uncle with a gambling problem, but you're not my sister. For this week's weekly revivals, we have 35 and 15. Don't desperately need any of these. I think I'm going to go for the armors on both. Harden is blue, which is the main reason. And Surtur I no longer have. I think I had one and then I foddered him to like Garen. And I guess I should probably try and get him. I have the other 2, so we'll go for him. Well, never mind. I guess Speed Tactic just became slightly more useful with Infantry Speed Tactic. So grabbing that might not be bad to have for chain fodder purposes. Oh, just instead we got an Est. And on this one we will go ahead and try and grab that Harden, even though Bold Fighter isn't that in demand anymore. Nah. Meh. 2 underwhelming summons for 2 uninteresting banners. Today we have the double Special Heroes banner, and I'm actually kind of interested in this one because it has Fafnir, who I want for Rouse Attack Def, because I think that would be a very funny skill to put on Papa Geralt. He also has Attack Speed Solo, which honestly not going to help Geralt very much. And he can't even have Disarm Trap. Not that Disarm Trap is anywhere near as good as it used to be, and I didn't even think it was that great to begin with. Before it at least had use with like disabling like Bolt Traps and Electro Traps, which, you know, I guess it still does technically, but a lot of people have swapped out their Bolt Traps for the new Hex Trap or whatever it is. And I did that too, and Bolt Traps, when I see those, I get excited because I'm like, ooh, I can use those. But Disarm Trap doesn't even work on the Hex Traps, so I've just never found a use for Disarm Trap. I know a lot of people like to run it on Ninja Lynn, and I just had no interest in doing that. I find Desperation way funnier on her, so Disarm Trap is not helpful. But I do still want that Rouse Attack Def for Geralt, so I kind of want to get Fafnir. I'm tempted to pull for him and try and get him. He is sharing with Manuela, which is, of like the various red options that he could have shared with, she's frankly probably the least exciting. She's not bad, but you know, like unless I plus 10 her, I'm not sure how good she would be. And I do like Manuela, she's a funny character, but I don't think I'm gonna pull her 10 times in the time it would take me to get one Fafnir, so Probably not. But I do want to pull red. On green, we also have Sonya, who has speed res hold and attack speed unity, which I would love to have on Morgan. Also, I think they're probably pretty just good to have, so wouldn't mind having her to keep if they had good stats. And they're sharing with Azura, who is not as exciting for fodder, but still alright. Fury 4 and Cross Spur res, not the best A and C slot, but still definitely usable. And then SR Far Trace is great, so wouldn't mind having her, even if, again, not as enticing as the other unit on the banner for me. Blue has Delthea with this monster weapon. I don't know what it does. I'm not reading all that. Congrats, though. Likewise, she has SR Far Trace. She also has attack speed catch. Always in demand these days, I feel. And Rouse attack speed, which similarly would be funny on Geralt, but I'm not sure that he needs it. Really, now we are in Geralt fodder hours. We need to collect fodder for him before he gets added to the Grail shop. That's why I'm particularly looking at skills for him. And then we've got Carla, who is pretty dang strong, but her fodder does not interest me in the slightest, so she would just be a one-off unit, I guess. And then on colorless, we have Valentine's Robin. Okay fodder, but not anything that I'm super desperate for. I'd probably just keep her, honestly. And then the surprise return of Ninja Lynn. Why is she here? Why is she here? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but she's still good. She's still strong. I think I still have a combat manual that I've been saving, but I have no use for now. Oops. But yeah, we're gonna pull red. Green is backup, but I kind of want to just pull red. I'm not even sure if this is a free summon or not. It might be its own video. But we got 2 reds. I kind of want to pull both reds because I really do want that Fafnir. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind having an extra Fafnir to keep, but I don't have the orbs to go for that reliably right now. So let's grab this second red. Come on, give us the Fafnir right here. Oh, yes! 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 Fafnir respects my desire to help my dad. He can kind of relate to that a little bit because, you know, he's got that paternal instinct. And he's like, you know what? I want to go home anyway because, like, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be involved in Asker and everything. So I'll come to you. I will give you the fodder you need, and you can just send me home, and everyone wins. Thank you, Fafnir. What a great guy. I say, even though he attempted to, like, disembowel us or something in the main story. I don't remember what it was exactly. He wanted to do some awful things, but you know, this is a different universe, Fafnir, so it's all good. It's water under the bridge because he has come to give Papa Geralt the Rouse attack def. This is awesome. I only have to spend, like, what, 4 orbs for that? I was heavily considering just pulling a bunch of orbs for it, but now I've got that as an option for Geralt. I'm not sure if that's his best C slot, but I do think it's a very cool one for him. The other one that comes to mind is Attack Smoke 4. Not as good for, like, hit and run strat Geralt if you're running trace skills, but it does also come with a trace skill that he wants, so, you know, it's very cheap fodder for him. So I can see use for both, and now I have the option, so I'm very happy about that. You know what? As a treat, let's just pull the greens as well. As a treat, try and get the Sonya. And if we get an Azura, that's also good. Instead, we got Balti. So, not quite as exciting, but again, I'll pitch a few orbs at this because I'm very happy I got my Fafnir. Alright, just actually Echidna is not bad. That's a drive attack. I can use that. That's actually very helpful. So, very solid for, like, just a few orbs there. Very happy with that, very pleased. Thank you. Thank you, Fafnir. Also, I didn't even notice, he's minus attack and plus res, so like, I don't even have to feel guilty foddering him. He came ready, willing, and able to become Papa Geralt's wonderful Rouse Attack Def Combat Manual. By the way, if you're curious about how excited I am for Papa Geralt, I've already maxed out his HM and his SP, so that should give you some idea. For the rerun of Pirate's Pride, I don't have any huge need for any of these units. I already have Veronica plus a backup one for fodder if I ever need it. And I've got Pirate Geese as well. I could go Tibarn just to have dive bomb fodder, that wouldn't be bad. Or Bridget, I could put Helmbow on New Year's Corrin, which I guess I'm kind of leaning towards, and I'd also get some infantry flowers off her. So red, we'll just grab that. Tibarn was probably the better choice, but you know, sometimes you just want to give Corn Boy some treats. What do you know, speaking of, he did pop up, just we weren't looking for you, we were looking for treats for you. Silly Billy. 3-star Corrin is not very helpful, thank you. Alright, we have this month's Voting Gauntlet banner, which is just last year's Brave Heroes. So they are going to be facing off against this year's Braves, and of these I have everyone except Marianne, so I guess we're gonna go for her. Backup, I'd probably go Erica. I think she has just really solid fodder, mostly because attack speed menace is just really good. Yeah, Spurn I've got a lot of copies of, and Distant Pressure is okay, but not for every unit. And Tempest skills are wonky, I still am not wild about them. And then Gatekeeper's just kind of got a hodgepodge of fodder that can be good on the right unit, but I don't have anyone who desperately needs it right now, so best to just go colorless, blue as backup. Well, sometimes fate is inevitable, and there's just really no struggling against it, huh? This time our fate was to receive an Eric. Terribly unexciting fate, but sometimes that's just how it is, I suppose. For weekly revivals 56 and 16, I'm not desperate for any of these. On this one, I think I'll go for Jenny, I guess just because Wrathful Staff fodder could still be mildly useful, even though I've got extra. And on this one, I guess Kyria, since I don't have her yet, so we'll pop a red on this one. What do we got? Just Eliwood. Eliwood, you silly Billy, you can't be an idol. You can't be a pop idol. And then this one, I guess we were going for Jenny. Katarina as backup, but we didn't even get any reds. And we got a colorless, so it's okie doke. Man, Splatoon 3, I was playing the Splatfest, and it's been gone for like 3 hours or so, and I already miss it. Bring back Big Man. For Heroes with Bonfire, we've got everyone's favorite menace, Fallen Edelgard, here to ruin everyone's day once again. She is joined by Aiden, who is significantly less impressive with Vengeful Fighter and Fortress Def Res as fodder. She can still be a good save tank, but just, you know, a little less powerful and oppressive than this mistake. And they also have Zeke, who tagged along for some reason. I don't know, he's not a dragon. Silly guy, you're not a dragon. But he does have Attack Def Catch 4, Lull Attack Def, and Def Res Menace. I can get him with Divine Codes, and I do have enough codes saved up for him. But I actually wouldn't mind having a copy to fodder, so if I could save the Divine Codes, because I kind of hate everything else on that path, that wouldn't be bad. So I kind of want to pull blue, but we're going to prioritize colorless. Kind of want to pull both those blues as well. I don't really need it. But do I value some orbs more than the codes? No, I should save. I'll pass. I'll take my sad little Clarine and just pass. And in a surprise turn of events, this is actually the last banner for this free summon batch. It turns out the legendary hero banner this month actually does interest me, so alas, we had a good month of saving. We actually got our orbs almost up to 600, and now they are going away again. Overall though, we did do a pretty decent job of saving. I did pull a few extra on that one with Fafnir, but I ended up getting him, so that was very worth it. We may not have had quantity of summons this time around, but we did have very good quality with the one unit that I really wanted. We managed to snag. So can't complain by any means. Still pretty excited. Just hoping that luck rolls over into the legendary hero banner and we can walk out with what we need. But anyway, thank you guys as always so much for watching, joining me for another month of FEH Freebies and lots of saving. Best of luck to you guys on your summons, whether they be free or otherwise. And until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon signing out.